Welcome to Financially Free with Latoya and Tracy. I am Latoya, and while Tracy isn't joining me today, she will be popping in from time to time for special episodes and real conversations. So, since this is my very first podcast or episode, I just want to say that I am going to be authentically me. That means I am sharing what I know in my own voice without any pressure to feel or sound perfect, okay? So let's get started with the question that I hear quite often. Is an 850 credit score really possible? Let's break that down. I am going to start by asking, what is a credit score? A credit score is a 3-digit number that summarizes your credit risk. In simpler terms, it helps a lender figure out how likely you are to repay borrowed money. So when you apply for a loan, a mortgage, a credit card, and even some jobs, that number gets used to determine whether or not they say yes or no. But here's something that many people don't realize. Credit score is a general term, right? Like tissue is a general term. There are different brands of tissue. There are also different brands of credit scores, such as Vantage score or FICO score, and even scores by each of the major credit reporting agencies. So when people are talking about a credit score, they're often referring to FICO, which is a specific type of credit score. So credit score versus FICO score. Credit score is the umbrella term. It represents your credit worthiness in general and can be calculated by different models like Vantage score or even possible or models by specific lenders. Your FICO score, that's a brand name. So FICO is the industry standard created by the Fair Isaac Corporation, and it's used by over 90% of U.S. lenders. So if a lender is checking your credit score, the odds are they're checking your FICO score. But get this, even with your FICO score, there are different variations or different versions tailored for things like mortgages, auto loans, or credit cards. So don't be surprised if your score varies depending on where and how it's pulled. So now, the big question, how is your FICO score calculated? Your FICO score ranges from 300 to 850, and it's based on 5 factors. So 35% of your FICO comes from your payment history. 30% comes from the total amounts owed to your creditors. Then 15% comes from the length of your credit history. 10% new credit, and then the remaining 10%, your mixture of credit. So again, 35% payment history, 30% total amounts owed, 15% your length of credit history, 10% new credit, and then the remaining 10% is your credit mix. These factors come from information from your credit reports from the 3 big credit bureaus, which are Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. What's not included in your score? Things like your race, your religion, your marital status, your salary, or where you live. FICO strictly uses credit report data, not personal or demographic information. Okay, so the big question, is an 850 really possible? Let's answer that question. Is it achievable? Yes, it absolutely is. But here's the thing, very few people have it, and having a perfect score isn't always necessary. In fact, once your score hits the mid 700s, you're already considered to be in excellent credit territory. So you will qualify for the best loans, the best rates and terms that creditors have to offer. But if you're determined to hit that 850, here are some habits that can help you. And these are habits that I use with my partner. Pay every bill on time. On or before the due date. On or before the due date. Pay every single bill on time. Keep your credit card balances low. Don't close out old accounts unless it's absolutely necessary, because remember, a percentage comes from the length of credit history. Limit your new credit applications and maintain a healthy mix of credit types like installment loans and revolving credit. And most importantly, patience. Length of credit history takes time, and you cannot fake that. So, let's talk about checking your credit. Whether or not you're chasing that 850 score, it is very important to stay on top of your credit. And here's what I recommend. Check your credit reports at least once a year. You can get a free copy of each bureau once every 12 months at www.annualcreditreport.com. So do that. Look at your credit report and, make sure you're verifying that information, because that reviewing your report can help you spot any errors that are reporting, catch identity theft, and it also helps you understand what's affecting your score. If you can, try checking your reports quarterly or even monthly using some type of credit monitoring tools or apps. So, my final thought to wrap things up: yes, an 850 credit score is possible. It really is. But more importantly, being credit healthy is about consistency, awareness, and good habits, not perfection. Don't stress about hitting the very top. Don't stress about it. Focus on building strong credit behavior, and the score will definitely take care of itself. If you like this episode, be sure to subscribe and leave a review and share it with someone who's working on their credit goals. And remember, your credit journey is just one part of your financial story, and you're in the driver's seat. Okay? Thank you. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Have an amazing day.